Welcome everybody back to Boost Motion, guys, and today I want to talk about oil and oil pressure. Yeah, guys, this article actually comes from Sonic Tune. Now, we definitely had Sonic Tune on the channel before, so you guys can definitely check out my channel. We sat there and had a Bring the Boost a conversation. I need to get back to doing that stuff. Hopefully, let me get like 100 likes on this video, and then I'll bring the boost back. Yeah, bring the boost. Pretty much conversations will come back. Let me know if you guys really do miss that, because I used to find those things so much informational. It's just that I don't know if you guys really enjoy those stuff. Anyways, for shout out to Sonic Tune, much love to the brother. Much love to the car he's definitely building. I like his Nissan. That is his nice and blue one. Now, let's quickly go to what his writing was. Now, he spoke about in depth about launch control and oil pressure. Pretty much. So for those of you with the EcuTech and launch control, or let's not even say only launch control, let's be fair. Launching the car pretty much hard. This is if you're pressing the brake and giving it gas too, right? This should also apply to you guys. This, he says, check your oil. Everyone else should also check your oil weekly. When tuning, I can tell with almost 100% accuracy when someone's oil is even just at a quart low. With launching these cars, the oil pressure will always dip slightly for a split second and then come back up immediately. This is because at launch, all the oil gets forced to the back of the oil pan from the pickup. If your oil is low, the oil pickup will start to suck in air as the oil level is too low to keep the pickup submerged. While this may not damage your engine immediately, it will drastically increase the wear and tear on your bearings and valve train and can eventually cause permanent damage. So pretty much our oil pan is, I don't have anything in front of me, but think about your oil pan as pretty much a bowl. Yes. And this, when you pour fluid in it or liquid in it, you move it back and forth. The fluid could spill out of it, right? Now, if you put, let's say, I don't know, a piece of paper like a dam in between it to separate that oil, right? That's considered like a baffle or pretty much a barrier. So when you move it, slosh it left and right, you still may have fluid spill out the sides, but if you literally look at it, a lot of the fluid actually doesn't really go over that baffle. Some of it still stays within there. It's a lot easier, right? The same thing applies to the oil pan. It's bolted up. It's connected. It's a terrible analogy, but when you launch it, all that oil goes to the back because there's nothing in between it. So if the siphon or the pretty much the tube that sucks in all the oil, right? It's not really in the middle, but when you floor it, if the oil pushes all the way to the back, sometimes depending on the situation, if the oil is low, it's actually sucking in air. Now, if it's sucking in air or just pretty much not much enough oil pressure will decrease. Remember, oil pressure is very important for these high performance engines, especially if you're tuned. So just a dip in oil pressure for a couple of seconds, there's certain metal components that are supposed to continue to be sprayed with oil, and for those few seconds, right, they may not have that oil pressure. So now there's actual metal to metal contact, and they need to have that little slick amount of oil between them to protect it for the life of the car. Think about like the V8 M3s. They have a really tight oil tolerance. They use a really high grade of oil, which I think is destroying the motor in my opinion, but whatever, right? If their oil pressure ever goes down or goes too low, boom, their motors will go, because those bearings will actually rub and touch each other and it will spin, and that will destroy the motor. So the same thing could actually apply here. Below is two logs of the same car. The bottom log is the first launch control log sent to me. You can see how the oil pressure dips 2 bar, 29 psi on launch, and has an extended recovery time over the top of the log, right? So let's quickly look at that one. So this is the first picture, and he's going to show, excuse me, guys, the oil pressure. Let me see. Can I use press a photo here? Okay, let me just move my face somewhere over here. Cool. So he's actually pointing that for you. This is engine oil pressure, and he shows you when there's a dip, and then it would have to have an increase, right, with engine speed, right? And then he also shows an example with the next one here. Let me just go back to that for you. Wow, I pretty much lost that one. Click that off. I could have actually kept that up there. I don't know why I did that. And then he says, below the second log cool, and the top log was taken 45 minutes later with the only difference adding in 1 quart of oil to set the level properly. You can see it only drops half a bar, about 7 psi, and immediately recovers. You see, so sorry guys. So the bottom photo, well, I just should have looked and I would have saw the big dip. The bottom photo is a quart low, and you see that huge dip, and then it starts moving its way back up. And then here's when he added a quart up on the top chart, and it's pretty much barely any dip at all, right? Um, the way I check and see my oil level is after the oil change, I'll drive the car until it's really hot or 190 degrees. Then I'll turn it off and let it sit for about 120 seconds, and then check the oil level. That way I can always be sure that the oil is 100%. Now, people always ask this question: how should you should check your oil in the morning when it's cold? Should you check your oil when it's hot? In this case, I see what he actually means by that, because once it gets to the temperature, it's pretty much like water. It just drips really down. So it goes through all the galleries, all the little holes where the oil will drain, and will get into the oil pan and collect very quickly. Compared to, let's say you have it sitting overnight, yeah, I mean, the car oil could actually sit, but it's actually a lot colder depending on where you're at. And sometimes the oil could actually pool in certain areas or some parts of the valve cover gasket or certain areas like that overnight. So I kind of get where he's going at with that. That okay. So since I track my Z a lot and beat on the NC, I personally fill it to the top. Then I add about 2/10 of a quart. This isn't a requirement, just a personal preference. I launch it a lot and will make small differences. Now, shout out to Sonic Tune for doing that. Sonic Tune is also a tuner for this platform, and he used to work on Nissan Infinities, so he should know something about cars. So don't believe me, just believe him, 100%. But I get where this goes. Some people ask, what are some of your ways around this? You can also get, I don't know if Drop Bear still sells it, but you can get an aftermarket oil pan. They actually designed it with these baffling system within the oil pan, and that prevents issues like this from happening, because when you launch it, it'll keep the oil in these specific galleries, so it will always have enough oil to keep sucking up. So it really won't have this huge dip in this case, right? Or another way to mitigate it is, as he was saying, I'll just top it off with a little bit more oil. Remember, when the car is running, the oil pan really isn't full. Think about that. It's not full. Most of the oil is moving and circulating the engine. So technically, you're really not low on oil. I mean, you're not low on oil in that case. If you add about, let's say, a quart more of oil, that's not really going to hurt the motor, because as it's running, it's not like you're overfilling it. It's moving, it's in motion. You see what I'm saying? Especially if you're launching a car in these situations, it just keeps a little bit more oil within the system as it circulates. So I get the idea theoretically, and to me, it makes sense theoretically. I'm not no scientist. All right. So outside that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you for always banging with your boy Boost. Hopefully you continue to enjoy this video. Add me at boostinmotion IG, Facebook, and you can send me email at boostinmotion@gmail.com. Otherwise than that, guys, I appreciate it. You guys have a good day. Thank you.